This is the Philly podcast, the city edition. We understand that everything is going on in the city right now. You know, you're going to have the Phillies playing tonight. Hopefully, they get a third win. We got the Eagles playing tomorrow night. Hopefully, they get these guys, get these Texans out of there early, so we can get some sleep. Get out of there healthy, and then you got the 76ers playing tonight. So we got a lot going on in the city right now, man. My guy E. Dorsey, we got Marv. So lock in with us, man. We're gonna have a good night tonight. So what's up, fellas?
Oh man, I'm good. How y'all doing, man? Everybody enjoy their Wednesday. Everybody doing well at this 8 o'clock hour.
Oh man, we doing good always, bro. Always. The city up, the wins is up. We ain't none of them teams is below 500, so it is less stressful these days.
Very,
You know what I
very
mean?
much so.
Yeah.
Look,
Very much so, man.
you got
You got it, Swerve.
what was you saying, Dorf?
Nah, you got it. Go ahead.
It's for the time to be alive.
Yeah, buddy.
You got the only undefeated team in the NFL. You have a team who was tied 1-1 in the World Series, who took Game 3 at home, and I believe the statistics say that if the series is
All right, freezing, man, freezing.
Oh, we losing. You losing, you brother.
Yeah, but I know the feeling. You know what I'm saying? You got a city that's on fire right now. Hopefully, they close this World Series out. You know what I'm saying? This Thursday, tomorrow. I'm hoping. Then they can have that parade this weekend. Then
Yes,
the
sir.
Eagles win. The Eagles win Thursday night, bro, and we on after that. What I mean, I'm gonna make a trip. They let them Jokers win this World Series. I'll make a trip just for that one, just to show
Yeah,
up, man.
absolutely.
I got to.
Absolutely.
Ain't because we ain't got no football to really look forward to. The Eagles on one and hopefully on Thursday night. So
Absolutely.
it's just city high right now, man. All right, yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he bounced out. So we're going, we keep it going.
We'll bring you back, man. But no, like you said, everything. Last night was amazing. I'm not sure if everybody got a chance to watch, the game, but that in itself, we don't talk baseball much, if at all on here. But just I know Swerve, was a very good baseball player. You know what I mean? Swerve the Great did his thing, on the mound and in the outfield, he did a little everything, believe it or not. But we could touch on that, man. Just watching that game, the stadium, the energy was electric, man. You could hear it like blasting through your television. Like that's how loud, the crowd was as citizens. And, for me, I'm looking forward to that, that same type of love moving forward with all the teams, man. With the Sixers, with the
Yeah.
Eagles, when they played Pittsburgh the other day, it was wild. And tonight, I mean, a couple more minutes, I expect for it to be crazy. And I, would like to see them get this win, man, so we can close out everything tomorrow.
Right. I mean, that's the way to get them out of there while you can. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't play with nobody. Like I was telling you earlier before, we jumped on, dog. This is the first time all four teams in the state or in the city have been up at the same time in 40 years.
Wow.
42 to really be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't get situations like that in Philadelphia. You don't. Either one good and the other three are horrible, two good and the other two are horrible, three good and one is trash, but you
Yep.
never get all four.
Yep.
You never get all four, man. What's going on, Winston, man?
like
We filling in. It's us here with Philadelphia tonight. But go ahead, man.
yesterday. Y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
The internet kind of spotted. Yesterday was ridiculous. Like the Phillies did what they were supposed to do yesterday. like you said, no, I said 68%. You win 68% after the split. So they did everything they were supposed to do. Um, the rain, I think the rain definitely helped. Like the rain definitely helped, um, and with the delay because that delay made it so that Nola could pitch today. Um, and the bats came to life. The bats came to life, and that's what you need. That's what I think the Astros should. If I'm the Astros, I readjust my strategy because the Astros were so aggressive last night, and I think that was their downfall. Because in Game 2 they jumped on Wheeler and they got I think 4 runs early, right?
Right.
So they got those 4 runs early and they came out extremely aggressive yesterday, which I think was detrimental, and the game played out way different. So I think the Phillies have their ace going tonight, and if Nola can just pitch a game and pitch his game and stay consistent, if those bats are still woke, I think the Phillies can win tonight. Like you said, we don't talk much baseball, but like the city is rocking. I knew when Bryce hit the home run, I was going God Webb last night. I said Bryce is going to come in there. He's going to sit on the pitch and he's swinging. He's swinging as hard as he can these first couple pitches. They were like, "You sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like if I'm Bryce, I'm sitting back and I'm waiting on this pitch that I know is coming, and I'm swinging for the fences. And that's just what Bryce did yesterday. Um, so, like I said, what a time to be alive. We have the Phillies 2 games away from a World Series championship. You have the Eagles, the only undefeated team in football right now, and to be honest, they should be the favorite uh, in the next 5 games they play.
Well,
They should be
I'm gonna tell you
a
something real quick
favorite.
about I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something real quick about those Phillies before we jump off of them. Though the the Phillies have an undecided, is an unwavering advantage in this series now for at least the next 2 games. Because what people don't know is that where the bullpen is, the visiting team's bullpen, they switched it out. It used to be where the Phillies bullpen was above, you know what I'm saying, the visiting team's bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
So when the fans saw everything, they just saw the Phillies pitching in the bullpen, right? When the starter was on the mound. Now they removed it and just
Yeah,
put
so you can see it. You can see directly into the
right.
visitor. Yeah,
They are sitting right on top of the bullpen. So when the starting pitcher's out there, getting his work in before he goes out to the mound, it's nothing surrounding you
yeah,
but
from the
fans.
fans.
So
Yeah,
imagine these jokers been oiled up since probably
since
5:30,
since
6
11
o'clock
o'clock
in the
this morning.
morning, and you
Bro, the
got to
lineup
come in
that was
there
the
from Houston thinking, everything is just normal. This is the normal ballpark. We understand that Philly fans may be a little
I
rowdy, but
know got out the
nothing
first.
crazy. Bro,
Yeah,
I, I
Nola got
saw
out the
that
first.
video. I saw that video of that man, of McCullers pitching
Yeah,
last night.
last night.
They was on his ass for 30, and then what was it? Framber, or I think his name is the starting pitcher that pitched the game before. Bro, they worked them over for about 45 minutes, just talking junk to them. You know what I'm saying?
I
And by
love
the
it.
time he got to the mound, bro, he was already done.
I love
That
it.
was my favorite part. That was my favorite part about the Nationals part is that I sit in right field. In right field, they have the shade. They have shade, and then in right field, you sit right down. You're like right over the bullpen of the home bullpen. So we take over that part and we go down there because I think I went to my boy's bachelor party and it was literally we came down there like 60 deep and sat in right field and was talking so crazy to the Nationals pitchers. By the time they got to the mound, it was a wrap. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
bro.
I mean, like I'm watching it. Nola just got out the first. He might have gave up a hit, but he ain't getting no damage. I want to see what these bats still look like, and then It's just like I said, we got the Phillies 2 wins away from the World Series. The Eagles are 60 minutes away from being 8-0. The Sixers actually are showing some hints of life. I don't. I said I wasn't paying too much attention to them until Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving. And the Flyers are actually playing decent hockey right now. And the Union, shout out to the Union. We can't forget the Union. Union's playing good ball. So
Yeah.
it's a great time to be a Philly.
So let me ask you this, man. It's a great time to be, a Philly fan, and like anything, like with anything, man, we have adversity here and there. What do you think about? Let's jump on the Eagles real quick. What do you think about them putting Davis on IR, and who do you think is going to replace him at that depth part on the field?
Well, as far as Davis, I think what is going to happen, is what we've always seen in the past. They're going to move BG outside, Sweat on the other side, or switch out between BG, Sweat, and Quinn on the outside, and then you're going to have Fletch and Hargrave on the inside, and you might have Tula Teapi, or whatever his name is.
Marlon.
They're going to have him in the middle. And Jackson, maybe Teron Jackson in the middle also. Then they also have the ability to put BG on the inside too, depending on what the package is. So I don't think it's a huge thing like people are saying because of the they said it was he was coming back in December, bro. It's November 2nd, or what I'm saying. So it's not like it's a long time.
4 games.
It's not like it's a long time. You know what I'm saying? You look up and it's December. So we ain't really. It's you would like him there, but it's not really a big thing to me right now.
Hargraves is Williams' time to shine. He wasn't getting snaps. He wasn't getting on the field. It's time for him to show up. He was a 3rd-round pick, right? So Williams' time to shine. You also can, with the acquisition of Quinn, you can slide BG down, and you can have him play a little on the inside. So you have Hargraves, you have Fletch, you have Williams, and then you can slide Brandon Graham down to the inside, and he can play a little inside if needed. So I think, you know what, it might be a blessing in disguise because honestly, he's going to get Jordan rested up for the next 4 or 5 weeks. And he'll be fresh. He'll be fresh come in the season. He won't hit that rookie ball. He'll be fresh. And when we need him to stop the run against Dallas, we're going to need him to stop the run against the Colts in the playoffs. So I think this might actually be a blessing in disguise. Because again, if you look at what the Eagles are facing going forward, I think they should be able to win these next 4 or 5 games without
Yeah.
So it hurts, but I think when he's fresh in December and he's pushing back triple teams, because the way he was manhandling the Steelers offensive line on Sunday, hey, that man 4 or 5 weeks off, he's gonna come back with a vengeance and he's gonna be fresh.
Well, that was a point that I was making to somebody earlier. I said the one thing that we didn't get a chance to realize or even give credit to is the fact that he and the Kobe haven't stopped playing football since they won the Natty. Like then they go on to the combine, then they go on to pro days and all these different things. So they've actually been working hard. So him getting
around,
him getting that month off essentially is what we're going to need. Not to mention, you still got Toi Palutu. You still have Hargraves that are natural nose. These are 2 nose tackles. These aren't 3 technique, 4 technique. They're 3 technique guys. So it's like you move those guys in, and then on the back end, which I doubt they'll do this, but you still have, my guy, Marvin Wilson, who's been on the practice squad just waiting.
Right.
And
Milt Williams.
Yeah, Williams. Like if we didn't have certain guys, like Marvin Wilson makes the 53. So it's just like this is the luxury that we have. And I'm with Swerve and saying this could be a blessing in disguise because we're going to need certain guys to have the energy, to have the the gusto, so to speak. And then you also have the other kid, Josiah Scott. I know he's a little dinged up. I'm not sure if he's going to play tomorrow or not. Probably
he's out. Yeah, he's out.
So,
yeah.
Right. So then now that gives you a couple guys you can call up. You can call up Sashery. You can call up, maybe one of these extra wide receivers we have, like a Ward or Auden Tate. You can call up who's somebody else that's on there, Davion Taylor. Like we have guys that once were starters that are on our practice squad, like guys that were up and coming that now we get a chance to see throughout this not dry spell, but you don't want to get lulled to sleep. Everybody's just been whooping. Now you bring in some of these young guys who haven't played and they're hungrier. You know what I mean? So that was something that I noticed, and I said, you know what? I wonder if that's going to be an issue, or if that's actually going to be a gift for us moving forward.
And then the next question I had, obviously, you had the first question, but this question I got for y'all is the trade deadline. They got Quinn, but I wasn't disappointed because I understand they 7-0 for a reason.
Right.
However, they need to figure out what they're going to do. Now, especially I'm still sketchy on Covey as a punt returner, right? I'm still very sketchy on him. And then at the running back position, what are they? I was kind of a two-tab question. Like, what are they going to do at running back? As far as I think this would be the best week to have Trey Sermon get some carries.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. This is the perfect week. You're going against a team that's given up 180 yards a game on the ground. This is the perfect week to dial that up. You know what I'm saying? They're not bad in pass protection.
Right.
But in against the run, bro, they are horrible.
Yes.
Horrible. You know what I'm saying? So this is I don't know what's going on with Boston Scott. They ain't really said much about him. Is he hurt or they just not? Because you see more when Sanders comes off the field, it's Gainwell.
Yeah.
And then back, and you might see Boston get a carry here or two, but it ain't been like it was. They don't even use him out of the backfield, which is, a part of the reason is because you got AJ now. Hurts is developing by leaps and bounds as a passer, so he's seeing everything else. But I'm like, what's going on here, bro? if that's the case, hell, if that's the case, if you're not trusting Boston as a running back, that could be because he did return kicks before, right?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah,
so why not let him do that?
Yeah, I don't understand what that's about. I think, like you said, he's not getting a lot of playing time, on offense. So why wouldn't they use him back there?
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe he's a better kick returner than he is a punt returner.
But he did well at punt and kick. I mean,
right? Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out.
But he ain't. He wasn't bad.
But he ain't. I'm trying to tell you, man. Every time I see Covey back there, and especially with this weather, it's going to get worse. The weather's going to get worse as it gets colder.
Yep.
And or you're going to risk your season on a rookie free agent punt returner that's having a hard time catching. He's having a hard time tracking the ball.
Yeah,
and I could tell that just being watching the last couple of games. I'm like, bro, it's no wind out there.
Why?
What I'm saying? The wind is not whipping. So what are you having a problem with? Is it just that is it your nerves? What exactly is going on here, bro?
I think, and it's one of those things where I hate to compare 2017, but I always do. I always will. And we had Sproles. Sproles gets hurt. Then we go out and we get Barner. And Barner ends up being, the guy for us on special teams in the punt return game. Kickoff, we had Barner and Clement, and that paid dividends having those younger guys, those younger legs. Even I think Smallwood was in there for a little bit before he got banged up early on kick return. and he, was aggressive and, was just moving forward. It's just being there. Listen, secure the ball, get upfield. That's it. And with Covey, I watched a couple of the games in depth, like looking deeper into the game. I'm just like, yo, this brother, one cut fall, two cut tackle, one cut drop. Like, it's too many instances where that happens. And again, I think, with the record that we have, we can, I ain't gonna say nitpick, but we can take a look at certain things and say, all right, this needs to be improved because we're going to go up against a team that has a better special teams unit than us, and it could do some damage. I ain't gonna say cost us, because right now, we are looking really good in the trenches on both sides of the ball and our skill position guys. But if we can then dominate on special teams, I mean, that just takes over. It just makes it, the ultimate for us. So I said it before. I said, if certain guys like Andre Roberts and Cordero Patterson weren't hurt, I could have seen how we going out to make a deal to get somebody specifically for that position. But all the good guys are hurt right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not available. Because if the Falcons are willing to give up Ridley for that, I'm damn sure they would have gave up Patterson, for something. And that then takes our bottom tier special teams. Yes. It's a future Hall of Famer returner in a Patterson, or maybe not a Roberts, but Roberts has been consistent for years, and
it's somebody. But
yeah,
I'm tired.
I really believe that in a clutch situation or in a big game, it's going to be six back there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Six is back there fielding punts. I don't know if returns. I'm not sure. I would like to see Josh Allen. Not Josh Allen. What's his name? Devin Allen. I would like to see him get a look at kick return. But I believe in any clutch situation or any big time game, we're not even chancing. Six is back there returning punts.
Right.
Six is back there returning. So the internet where I'm is kind of spotty. I apologize for going in and out.
We got you, man. We got you. That's what we're here for. All right. So, another topic. I think they have to. I think these next couple games they're going to have to really fight the complacency, and but at the same time, I think that Sirianni has these guys, and along with Hurts, he has these guys locked in, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think it's hard to get complacent.
Yeah, especially now. I think even more now because look, you 7-0 right now. Do I trust the Giants? No, but they still right behind you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And so, if you can get another loss on them Giants or something like that, that'll help them. But I think right now, man, this is. You got the 2017 team, then the 2014. Bro, I think out of so far, if you're looking at the first 7 games of each of those years, bro, I think this is the best team starting out a season that I've seen, just from top to bottom. At all 4 levels, each level on each side of the ball, other than special teams,
right?
That I have seen in Philadelphia, bro. Like when you go into a game, right? We all fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're fans, and you get into a game. You know how it is being an Eagles fan. You start, here we go again with this crap.
Yep.
Here we go again with this. I don't think at one time it might have been maybe 2 to 3 minutes of that Jacksonville game when they started, being a little loose, that I felt like they've not been in control of a game, bro.
Right.
Like every game I've watched has been like I'm just really watching a movie.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how y'all feel about it, man.
You got to swerve.
Oh, he froze.
Oh man.
Yo, you got it. You up?
Yeah. I'm back. I was trying to. I said the Dallas game was the only time this year when they 17 points, and it seems like they got away from everything that was working, and I
Right.
was just like, our and what's crazy is if looking back at the first game, I wasn't even really nervous. Jacksonville got up 14. I wasn't worried about Jacksonville getting up 14. Um, the Minnesota game, I wasn't nervous about anything except for they did let number 84 sneak behind them, but that was all karma because again nobody in Minnesota should be wearing number 84.
Crazy,
Um,
right? Ain't that crazy?
nobody in Minnesota should
Yeah.
be wearing number 84. I think that when Dallas when Dallas made it 17, when Dallas scored their 17th point, I said now, or I'm lying, the Arizona game. I was a little tight towards the end of the Arizona game, and that was like the first time. And then when Dallas scores their 17th point in a row, and I'm just like, oh well, what's the plan? But then they went down and they went back to what we they ran the ball, and then they executed on offense and they drove down and punched them in the face and scored. And then I was just like, okay, well if that's what's going to happen the rest of the year, I need to just relax a little bit. But as an Eagles fan, you really can't relax because we've been so accustomed to getting up and blowing into anything that can happen and go wrong over
Right.
the years. So, excuse me, you can't really relax. But to go to your point, I think if you look at the 2017 team and you look at the 2014, I really believe this is the most complete team I've been as an Eagles fan. This is the most complete Eagles team we've seen from uh, the point of a 53 man roster, like 1 through 53. I don't think we've seen a better roster. Like
No.
we literally have. Uh, what's crazy is we haven't even talked about Miles Sanders, who's having the best season of his career. Quietly, he's averaging 5 yards a carry. He's doing everything that is asked of him. You bought in AJ Brown for a reason. Uh, AJ Brown showing you exactly why.
Oh, I finished. I finished the AJ Brown thought, bro. Provided he stays healthy, AJ is going to probably go down as the greatest running or receiver in Eagles history. And we still and we still haven't seen the best of Devontae yet.
Right.
So between them two, bro, like I don't that makes helps me, transfer it to another topic. Bro, I think this team is going to be. It's not, obviously, we went through the thing in 2004, 2017, where we thought these teams were going to be around for a while.
Right.
This vibe around this team is completely different. I think they are set up to be a force in the NFC for at least the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Provided you keep turning over the roster because you're going to have Fletcher's going to leave eventually. Jason Kelsey's going to leave eventually, but you got Jurgens behind him. You got Jordan Davis that's right behind Fletch. You know what I'm saying? And then the only thing where I would say that would be a little shaky is maybe the cornerback position. Because Bradbury and Slay are getting older. They're in their 30s, right? I think one is 31 right now, and I think the other one was like 28 or 29. One or two.
I
They're
agree.
still
Go ahead.
I think they're still in their prime. You know what I mean? Like they're good right now, but in like a couple, maybe 2 to 3 years, you're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
But go ahead, go
Bradbury
ahead.
is 29 and
Yeah,
Slay is 31. And
right.
I'm with you. I think that having, a top 10 pick, having, the last pick, in the draft, you have to address those things. Like, don't go out doing anything crazy. And I don't believe that Howie will. I think that they do believe, McPherson. They of course believe in Maddox. That's why they already re-upped him. I think for however long, Slay and Bradbury are 2 years apart. I think. What do you think? Slay got what, a year or two? 2 good years left in him, maybe
2
3.
good years left, at least
Okay.
2. At
All
least
right,
2.
at least 2. And Bradbury's only 29. I think you try to keep those 2 together, re-up. And Slay knows, like, hey, I don't have forever. He's trying to train these guys, get them right, get them focused. And we have the talent with the McPherson, with the Job, with the Goodrich. Those are 3 solid corners that if you had to play them today,
up under them learning.
Exactly right. If you had to play them today, they're not ready. But if they're learning under Bradbury and under Slay, they're going to be just fine. I think something that was once a weakness is now a strength. When we talked about the safeties, now Epps and now, Gardner Johnson, those are a strength. Then again, behind them, I'm not a fan of Wallace, but you still have the kid, Blankenship, who I can't wait to see, what he can do. I will wait. I don't want to see him yet. But I don't want to see him yet. But I look forward to seeing what he can do in the next few years. Because I think, when you watch his film, when you see him, you think, oh man, this is a white safety. Well, he ain't John Lynch. I promise you that. No. What he actually, can do, he can cover, he can roam, and he makes plays. When you saw him in the preseason, he was in on a lot of tackles. He was around a lot of, tip passes and things like that. So it's like, I like what we have depth-wise. And like Swerve said, this is one of the deepest rosters. I definitely got a lot of rosters stuck in my head, and I could probably spit off so many of them. But I know for a fact 2004 was a roster filled with injuries and backups. When you look at that team, top to bottom, along the offensive line, we had a backup center because Jamal Jackson was there. Instead, we have Hank Fraley. We have Artis Hicks that was in there starting at the other guard. Mm-hmm. You lost Carell Buckholzer, so now you got to go out there with Dorsey Levens.
Yeah, I remember that.
You lose Chad Lewis. You got to go out there with L.J. Smith and Jeff Thomason. Of course, T.O. gets hurt. Like, that offense was full of backups and still got there. That defense was full of backups and still got there. 2017 ain't no difference. We win with a backup quarterback. You know what I mean? So there's a ton of different things that play into it. Left tackle, exactly.
Middle linebacker.
Left guard. Middle linebacker. So, you look at it and you say, in 2022, this is an extremely healthy team that can, only get better as they play together. Because I'm not going to say it was thrown together, but most of those guys, except for along the offensive line, have never played together before. Like, they don't know one another, all throughout the secondary, all in the second level. On the first level, I'll say they haven't all played together. BG was hurt last year. Cox was in and out. Hargraves, played most of the snaps. But some of those, he and, Williams, but ultimately the fact that we're coming into this healthy, every team should be afraid. Every team. And like I said, I love this roster. But again, I would tweak some things here and there because that's just how I am. And I think, like Swerve said, if it hits the fan, 6 is going to be back there. So that's one position we don't have to worry about as much. But no, the roster, top to bottom, Howie did a good job. Did a very good job.
And I still want to give Gannon his flowers, but there is a hidden gem that I don't think a lot of people are realizing that it's there. Vic Fangio.
Oh yeah. That was a sneaky peeky, as I like to call it. He's in the back.
Vic Fangio is right. He's upstairs with them. You know what I'm saying? When they're going through the game plans each week.
Yeah.
He is still a part of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you got an OG like that, calling, helping you call your defense, and you got Gannon back there, it's like, bro, and then in the event that, Gannon does get a head coaching job this year coming, up, you got Vic right there that can start to jump right in.
Vic or the DB coach Wilson.
Wilson, yeah, Denard Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, they love Denard Wilson. So it's like, yeah, what more can we ask for? You feel me? Like
Everything
these
is
are
set up,
things.
man.
Yeah, and it's like now is the time. Don't take anything for granted, man. Like I said, I know tomorrow night, I think a lot of people are looking past it and
I'm
saying,
not.
"Oh, it's them." I'm like, no,
Get it done early
exactly. I was just talking
because
to
they
a
can
partner of
run.
mine. Go ahead.
The Texans can run the ball.
They're
They
not
maybe
bad.
can't do anything else,
Yeah. It looks
but they
like
can
who they gonna
run.
throw to? I don't want to find out tomorrow that damn they can't throw the ball. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
be the one.
Oh, hey man, they don't have much. They don't have much at the receiver position. Nothing. They really don't have
Nah,
anything. And how they did Brandon Cooks. This past week. Putting him on. The trade waivers. You know what I'm saying, and then not bringing him, and not trading him. So you got him acting a fool.
oh
He ain't
yeah,
really acting a fool, but he just he was kind of bothered by what was going on. You left him out there, then you didn't trade him. I don't think
yeah,
he expected to be there after
no,
after yesterday. So you got that going on. So there's not much there. The line isn't good. The receivers aren't good. The tight ends aren't good. But they got a rookie running back in Pierce he's all right. And if they get that run, obviously, if they get that run going, the Eagles, even though they've been playing playing with the lead a lot this year, you know, if the Texans get that running game going, that can make things a little iffy. If they if
yeah.
they
I
don't
mean,
if they don't take care of business.
yeah. I was just talking earlier. Said to a partner of mine, we were talking about Miles, and
Yeah.
I don't know if do fantasy or if you bet whatever, but they have him projected, to get like 80 yards rushing, and a lot of people are like, "Nah, it's gonna be under." And I said,
Oh
"I
no.
I don't think so." I said they are 32nd against the run. The Texans are. They are last against the run. Not
Right.
only are they last against the run, in multiple games, they've given up over 100, 200, and multiple touchdowns.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders' time is now. It's time for him.
Yeah. They give up 180 yards a game
Yes.
rushing. They've
Yes.
given up. I think they've given up. It's been 7 games. They've given up. I want to say 900 something yards, more than
Yeah.
that in these
Yeah.
7 games rushing, bro. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you're
Yes.
looking at almost no, it's more than that. Hell, if they've given up 180 a game, bro, that's like 1,300 yards rushing
Easy.
in 7 games.
That's why Grugier Hill wanted up out of there. He was like,
Yeah,
I
I'm not
can't
putting
do
that
it.
on my name. Shoot, I don't blame him.
He
I don't
said,
blame him.
as a team, they've given up 1,300 yards they've given up rushing, and they've only ran for 646. I mean, like you said, that per average, like that's pitiful, man. And again, I love Lovey. I think Lovey is a great defensive coordinator, and I believe he's going to right the ship. But right now, they are terrible, and this is what they're going to have to go through, moving forward.
Right.
Um, they got a defensive back, rookie safety. Um, Davis Mills isn't. I mean, I'm not worried about him. It's just come out there, take care of business the same way you did versus
Get
Pittsburgh,
them up out of there early. Don't
and
play with
we
them.
can
Don't play with your food.
don't do it. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
don't play with your food. Go ahead and take care of them. Do what you got to do. That way, because this is kind of almost like your second. It's a mini buy. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? You win this game here, you don't play until the following Sunday. Get
right.
this over with now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So that's a whole week and some change. These guys can rehab. You know what I'm saying? You still got Jordan Davis out there, needing rehab. So this is the best time. Get these teams out of here while you can.
yeah.
You know, um, the next thing that I wanted to talk about is, and this is kind of off the Eagles,
Mm-hmm.
bro. I don't, I think I might have said it on my main Facebook page, but I think now more than ever, we are seeing the end of two quarterbacks, Brady and Tom and Aaron Rodgers, bro.
Make it 3. Don't add Matt Ryan to that as well.
Oh yeah, but see, the thing is, you know why? You know why I didn't add Mac to that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna start on this. Something is psychologically wrong in Indianapolis because and I you know what, and I had to go back and I understand what Wentz is right now,
right?
But that owner ain't right either.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a bona fide alcoholic. That's for damn
sure. Like understand what
sure.
you're doing. Like you are telling me that you had just gave up a second round pick that turned into a first for Wentz last year, right? Granted, yeah, he had 2 bad games at the end of the year.
Yeah,
but those other he missed one, right? So out of a 17 game season, Carson Wentz didn't play bad for the other 14 games.
Mm-mm.
It was just the 2 bad games at the end that he stunk, right? But for the first 14, he wasn't bad. He wasn't. So you trade him off one bad game, right? You trade him away. You bring in Matt Ryan, right? Understanding that 1, your defense wasn't playing well. 2, the line wasn't protecting him well.
Mm-mm.
In the games that they did protect for him, he threw in one game for almost 400 yards.
Mm.
So maybe if you protected him and had a defense that was playing decent, maybe you wouldn't have had these issues with Matt Ryan. But then they say, not only do they bench him, they come back and say, well, you're not playing for the rest of the year.
Oh, that's about that money, them incentives. They don't want to pay him.
But the thing is, understand, like, I don't even think they have their first round pick this year. If I'm mistaken.
Keep talking. I got you.
I don't think they had a first round pick this year. So what exactly do you think you're accomplishing?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. You know? So
they have a first, a second, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and 2 sevenths.
But where is that first going to land?
Yeah, let me see.
And that could be the reason why they trying to tank.
Right, because and that's what they're doing. That you said it. That is literally what they are doing is tanking. And I mean, yeah, right now they have their own first and their own second. Washington's third. Their own fourth, a fifth, a seventh, and a seventh from Tampa. And I believe this is older, so I know that they've gotten some picks since then. This is, the Nyheim Hines trade. I know that they got some picks from that. But no, you're right. Yeah, I mean, but basically to your point, you're saying Ryan, Brady, Rodgers have all, fallen off. And it's not necessarily even that they have, fallen off. Father Time has caught up to them. You know what I mean? Like they were able to get away with some things. They were able to, beat the clock. Where now it's like you're getting older and the things you used to be able to get away with, you're no longer going to be able to get away with because your skills are diminishing. It's not that mentally they can't do it. Physically, it's just not happening anymore. And when I watch Aaron, I mean, yes, they say, oh, he doesn't have any receivers. So what? He's A-Rod, right? Double check. He's supposed to be able to do all kinds of stuff. Tom Brady, on the other hand, his team is loaded top to bottom. He doesn't have those same issues. So what's the problem? It can't be coaching. Thank you. It can't be coaching. These are the same dudes that help you win the Super Bowl. It can't be receivers because you got better receivers than you had before. Julio may be old, but you got an old Julio. You've got Godwin. You've got Evans. You've got Rudolph at tight end. I think they still got Brate. You got Fournette. Like they have, that's an abundance of riches. And the defense, don't get me wrong, Warren Sapp broke them down. And I laughed because I was like, damn, you're right, man. And I like Devin White, but Devin White got lazy. He done got fat and lazy where he's not hustling anymore. He may make a play here or there, on the run, but other than that, he's doing a lot of standing around and watching. And that's supposed to be the leader of your defense?
I think on that side, on those side of things, bro. Like I think some of that is coming from the fact that they take their lead from their leader,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I hate to say it, because you don't want to bring your personal to your professional. But even when I look at Tom, bro, he looks like a vampire right now. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody just took the life out of him.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And it just doesn't. He just doesn't look right physically, mentally. I mean, I'm not going to tap into his mental, but right now, just like him being, he doesn't look like he's invested. Like all the
Right.
talking he used to do on the sidelines, that worked when you wasn't going through none of that, and everybody saw that you was a leader. But bro, if you taking time off, but your troops is still behind doing all the work,
Mm-hmm.
getting in the game plans, getting chewed out by the coaches, but you out here, taking time off with your family in the middle of the season to do other things, bro. And you taking off during, when we installing, game plans during the weekend, you not there, bro. And then you come and expect me to listen to you when you ain't there. When I'm giving up my 12 to 13 hours probably in a day, and you only there for 4 hours, and you come
Right.
telling me what to do. I don't care if your name is Tom Brady or not. I still have to make a paycheck. I
Yeah.
could be a rookie free agent. I could be a guy that's 2 years in. You and your performance impacts me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not performing because of something off the field, bro, granted, I understand who you are, but who you are is not putting that money in my paycheck.
No, not yeah.
You are affecting it, bro. By whatever you going through, it's impacting me.
Yeah.
You know,
And yeah, no, and that's just it. Is everything that's going on with him at home has definitely taken over, and it's unfortunate, but I ain't even getting mad because it's Tom. I mean, I respect this game. You got to
right,
respect it for what it is. But now, we're talking about a business. It's no different than when you and I get up and go to work. If I bring that into the job, man, it's going to affect other people. So, like you said, that's 1,000%. He started to diminish because of all the other things. There's a lot that comes with it.
right,
Being the Super Bowl champ, being the MVP, being the top of your game. There's a lot that comes with it, and he's he falls short just like the rest of us, and it's unfortunate because we've always seen Tom win. You know what I mean? Like he's
right.
out there chewing out his players, and y'all got it. I think that's happening far too often now.
Too often. Like you gotta look in that mirror, bro. Look in the mirror. Like you missing guys. He missed, bro. I can't count how many times he missed Mike Evans in the back of the. Granted, yeah, Mike dropped one wide open.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
But
did.
but Mike been open way more than he didn't drop them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So has Godwin. Those guys been open.
yeah,
And then they don't run, and then their line is breaking down too.
yeah.
They had three Pro Bowlers on it that left.
Yeah, they left. Yep, they left.
But they left not because they had better opportunity somewhere else. Those jokers left because they saw that Tom was retiring that first time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So now Thomas is getting on folks, but he's not understanding that his decisions altered the course of that team.
absolutely.
They did. You know what I'm saying? Those three guys wouldn't have left if they would have had the buy-in that you was coming back. The same as if you look up in Green Bay. I don't even think that it was really that Devontae wanted to leave to go play with Derek Carr. You had a guy up there that was flip-flopping on what he wanted to do, on top of trying to get his money.
Yeah.
And his money was tied to that, and he ain't going to want to play with Jordan Love. I mean, what you expected man to do? So now you coming in late to the game, trying to communicate with Devontae, be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. No, bro, you already showed me that you're gonna flip flop on me.
So I'm out.
So now I'm gonna go play with a guy. At least I know I'm familiar with, and I'm gonna go get my bread.
I'm gonna get my bread.
You deal
I'm
with
back
that over
home.
there.
Yeah, I'm closer to home. Everything. No,
Right.
you're right.
Less stress and all that.
You're so right. And that's the business, that's the game. I mean, we just seen it. We just saw it with, the Sixers and Harden. Him staying, everybody, was like, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? He knew what he was going to do the entire time, but it caused for other players not to know what they were going to do, or the league, not to understand what was going to happen. LeBron's done it before. Like, it's a part of the game that, these players, they're going to think singularly. We're not thinking about the team. We're thinking about ourselves. It's very rare.
And they have to.
Yeah, it's very rare you get somebody who's thinking about the team, unless they're a vet, unless you're like a Chris Long who's like, look, I done made all the money, get his money to charity. I just want to play ball. Like, I'm good. Like, it's rare you find somebody who want to do something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for the instances that we're actually speaking of, no, you're 1,000% right. These guys are, getting long in the tooth, so to speak, and it's catching up to them. It is rarely catching up to them, because that game versus Washington with Green Bay, I just couldn't believe it. Like, how are you up and you find a way to lose to a team that you should have beaten, point blank and period? You should have beaten, but you allowed them to come back.
I know they was in trouble when they went overseas and played
the Giants.
The Giants, and they could have won that game easily too. They got away from whatever it was. Like, look, if all you got is your running backs and that's what's working,
make them
and
stop
your
it.
tight end, keep using it. Using it because the Giants couldn't stop it.
Mm-mm.
Then they started thinking they had real good receivers, and then the next thing you know, they was down 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
they was up 10 points, and in 3 minutes they was down 2 touchdowns. I'm like, God darn, bro.
Beautiful. And you know what? It's funny, and we haven't really touched on it, but that's another thing I was just telling somebody. Yes, A-Rod plays a part into it, but let's keep in mind as well, you got a young coach over there in Green Bay who he still has yet to prove himself. He's lost a lot of the big ones, and they lost last year to San Fran. Yeah. I was just like, how you lose to San Fran at home? Like, you at home, you got the advantage, and you let this team come in here and beat you. The same way I look at, the Bengals. Young coach Zach Taylor. It's Zach Taylor. Yeah, Zach Taylor. I'm not sold. I believe that having Burrow and Chase and Higgins helped out, that makes that transition a lot smoother. But he doesn't know what he's doing, So we got to also give credit to these coaches, because the same situation that they have, it should be better because they have an A-Rod, or they have, a Brady, where, we have a young Sirianni and Steichen, who are out here doing their thing, and we're taking a young kid and we're winning. We're taking a young team or a mixed team and we're making it work, with the vets and, and the youth. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, a lot of these teams, they got some work to do, man. And like I said, like you just said, take it one game at a time. We got to win ours. We can't worry about them. We got to take our business, man.
But if you look over the NFC right now, bro, and look at, granted, you don't want to start, schedule watching, but look at this. Look at the state of the NFL quarterback right now. Not only in the NFC, but in the AFC also. The college game has somewhat transferred to the NFL game in regards to they can't really develop them in college.
Mm-hmm.
So you need a specific type of coach in the NFL to continue their growth. And I think that is a lot of what is going on wrong in the NFL right now. You don't have enough guys. Let me take that back. I don't want to say this, that you don't have enough guys that can do it. It's the lack of patience, one, and the time frames these owners are on right now, because a lot of these guys are older. A lot of these owners are in their late 70s. So they're on their own timeline, which doesn't meet the growth of these kids' timelines right now, bro,
Mhm.
because there's a lot of them out there right now that just they're horrible. You know what I'm saying? I'm just tell you how it is right now, bro. It's like, and it hurts the kids. Like right now, y'all can't really say that about Wentz, but golf, they did that to golf, man. Granted, they won a title with Stafford, but they got him up out of there because they didn't want to take the time to develop him to his full extent. Right? You got look at what's going on with Justin Fields, bro.
Yeah, it's my baby, man. I love
Yeah,
Justin Fields, man.
it's why I say I think God, because I think, granted, Jalen wasn't brought to Philadelphia to be the starter. I think they still had hopes that Wentz would stop being a child and
Hmm.
grow up. But thankfully, Jalen was able to get with, Nick and Brian Johnson and Steichen and these guys and Howie and you know Lori that really took the time to be patient with him,
Right.
and give him the things he needed to develop him because you don't see that. You just don't. It's rare.
Mhm.
Like Buffalo, they did it. Kansas City, they did it. I'm starting to see a little bit of it in LA with what's it Herbert. You
Oh
know,
yeah, I feel bad for him, man. That coach is.
yeah. The coach is trash though. Yeah. Because he's a defensive guy, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has
I don't
no
like him.
reason,
He
man.
just because he does the dumbest, weirdest things. You know what I mean? You have games that
Yeah,
are in the bag, and you know what I'm saying? He had a playoff spot in the bag the year before, bro, and kept going for it for no reason.
no reason.
Yeah, like it's rare. These kids right now that are coming in at the quarterback position aren't getting properly developed
No.
because of these timelines. Granted, yeah, you're the quarterback. There are going to be expectations levied upon you, but at the same time, bro, like these guys, the patience ain't there no more.
No.
Everything is instant grits. You gotta have it. You
Yeah.
gotta microwave it, and
I
if
don't
you
want
don't
no.
get
I
it,
don't want no instant grits player.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. And then when it fizzles out, like right now, right? I read an article this morning in regards to the Rams, right? They put all their chips in the bucket. Granted, they came out with a title,
Yeah.
but I forgot who wrote it, so I can't really cite them on it. But my guy said, "Look, when this class of guys he has on the team right now leave, or when their contracts are up, McVay is leaving. You know why McVay is leaving? Because he's not a teacher. That's what I believe. This was a get rich quick thing, and they did it for that year. But when you got to develop, when you got to actually draft, when you got to actually coach these guys up,
Hmm.
mentor them, get them the right training or whatever they need to do to get to that next spot,
Right.
that's not him. He can whip
No,
up
I
a
agree.
play. He can whip up a play, no doubt.
Mhm.
But the people thing, the people skills thing, the mentorship, the taking the time to grow your players, that ain't him. And
Nah,
I think
he's.
he's seeing, okay, if this don't work in these next 2 years, and with Stafford and them getting older and going on the way out, bro, I think he going. Yeah, they said, look, he leaving when they leave. When Aaron Donald and these guys leave, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we not too far off in age with him. He's one of the younger coaches, in the league. Number one, number
Right,
two. I heard this. I heard that last year. That had they not won last year, he was going to roll out because of that exact same thing. Like when you look at that roster, it's all over the place. The team's falling apart, and he's not a leader of men. And he lost his guy, the one dude. What's his name? O'Connell or Sullivan, whatever.
right.
Whoever's
He
the
lost
coach
him to
in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, lost him to Minnesota. Um, when he came into the game, he had, some OGs like Wade Phillips and Fossil's brother, on special teams. So he had older guys there that made that transition easier for him when he first got to the Rams. And
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to leave and he ends up back in Washington, because they do have such a younger roster, younger turnover. They were mad that they lost him in the first place. Like, I don't think he's not going to coach again, but I agree. Yeah, he doesn't.
But I know what he's going to do. I think he learned his damn lesson, though. I think when he do what he do this time, he's going to have some old heads around him, so he don't have to do all that stuff.
Had to do all the work. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
He wasn't built for it. I mean, they believed in him so much. They went and put that money into that stadium because they thought they were going to have this for years to come, not realizing, oh man, he's gonna do, like the boy Gruden did. Gruden gonna go where the money is. He's gonna go where the deal is. He's gonna bounce. But and again, they're from that tree. Like Gruden and his people, they know one another very well. But it's one of those things where, I agree. He's another one of those guys that, again, same reason why I believe Beckham hasn't rushed to come back. Because he's going to weigh the options.
Why would I go back to that?
Nah, I ain't going back to that.
They barely throwing the ball to Aaron, to Robinson, right?
I think Allen Robinson is trash anyway. But they're throwing the ball to Cooper Kupp. You can't have almost average 10 catches a game. He averages 10 catches a game, bro.
I wouldn't have zero. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm just be honest with you. I don't think Allen Robinson has fell off to the point that he just can't get open, or he can't get targets. I just think that it's really just, man, Stafford is just so locked in on Kupp, and that's all he trusts. And you understand that's why Deshaun left last year.
Yeah.
Deshaun wasn't washed at that point. He wasn't. He just got tired of seeing one man catch, getting all these targets.
Yep.
I'm on the team. I'm accomplished in this league too.
Yep.
Granted, Allen Robinson has had a couple of injuries, but he ain't that far away from the 13 or 1,400 yard receiver he was. It's, what I'm saying? He might be at the, I say 9 to 1,100 range. But that's not washed if you're a second receiver. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can get targets. It's just that Buddy ain't throwing to nobody. He's not even throwing to his running backs, bro.
Nah. It's either Kupp or Higbee. And that's affected him. That's why Kupp is dinged up. That's why Higbee is hurt. Like, but that comes from coaching. That's what's the plan. What was it with Goff? Same thing. Higbee, Robert Woods, or Watkins and tight or Everett. Like, that's what it was. They would throw to the same dudes essentially. So, I mean, that's just scheme. That's scheme, man. And again, a lot of these teams are falling into that. That's why we only have us, the Bills, the Chiefs, Cowboys.
It's gonna be that way for a while, though, bro. I don't think this is just a singular year thing.
Oh no! I thought he messed up the year we went to the Super Bowl with how he did my guy Todd Gurley. I already knew what it was. I'm like, nah. You got one of the top running backs in the game, and you're not even trying to give him the rock. Right. Hurt and all this other mess. I said, nah. He didn't have a game plan. It was feed 30 the ball, and we'll win games. Well, once you stop 30, then what? Then what you gonna do? So He lost out a long time ago, and again, this is the league that we're in, man. This ain't even a copycat league. This is a league where everybody has an excuse. Everybody, doesn't want to own up to the fact you may not be that good of a coach, you may not be that good of a leader, but like I always say,
understand that, man. Like, granted, it's about the money. They're there for the results, but they are people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These are people first, and people matter in any organization. When they see that one guy is being completely favored, you mean as quarterbacks should be, because they're a different breed of people. But as receivers, bro, if I know I'm accomplished in this league and I see this guy taking all these targets, granted, he's a good guy, but I need to feed my family too. You know what I mean? You need to give other teams something to look at. And if we can't get that, why am I here? Why did you sign me
Right.
if you're not going to use me? Let me go somewhere where everybody look, dude. It could be a 4-13 team. Granted, I want to win, but at least I know I'm getting some work in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know what I mean? I might not be winning, but at least I know I'm working.
I know I'm doing something. Yeah.
Something.
So,
Yeah. So
God.
let me see. I'm trying to see this the last topic that I want to tap into. Um ah, that's what it was. That's what it was. So you got the Cowboys, you got the Giants, right? 5-2 or the Cowboys, and 6-1 is the Giants.
Are they
Which
both
one of
six and
those
two?
teams
Are they
do
both
you
6 and
think is going to
2?
make
Or
the playoffs?
which one? Wait. Which one do I think are going to make the playoffs?
Because I think one of them is going to fall off. I just don't know when it's going to happen.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, right now they're both 6 and 2, and honestly, it's going to be the Giants, man. They're going to fall off, man. They're not that good. They're not that good of a team. They lost to Seattle they lost to Seattle on some silly stuff because ultimately you got 26 back there. That's
Right.
the best player on your offense. That's probably the best player on your team. And no, he is. He's the best player on their team. And
Yeah.
instead of them feeding him the rock, they decide it's Daniel Jones time. We're gonna throw the ball to this guy, or we're gonna run this trick play, or we're gonna hand it to 26 till they stop it. Because this is what he can do, whether it's run, catch up the backfield. And then defensively, they have way more holes than they let on, and Seattle found them. They exploited that secondary. They
Right.
exploited, the fact that their pass rush is only from the outside and not up the middle. Like, they took advantage of it. And I'm not saying that Dallas is any better because we played them and we saw their strengths and their weaknesses, but between
Right.
the two, I think the Cowboys are going to get more wins than the Giants. And I believe, if either of the two of them are going to get a playoff spot, it'll probably be the Cowboys. And it's only because the Giants didn't address their weaknesses. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it. They didn't get
really,
the
that's what I was getting
yeah.
at, because they didn't do anything at the trade
They didn't do
deadline.
nothing.
So that tells me, what do they really think about where they're at as a team?
Yeah.
I think they just were like, they didn't expect to be here, but I think it's smart that they're doing that because they don't want to give themselves, like the Commanders did that year they made it to the playoffs with Heineke. They
Right.
didn't want to give themselves false hope and saying,
Right.
well, they're one guy away from being really good. Like the Commanders, where they thought they were just one guy away, and then they ain't been back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They've been over 500 since. So I think, I think, this Giants is gonna fall off, man.
Yeah.
So with that being said, look, people out there, please hit that subscribe button. For Philly Podcast, myself, Marv, and Dorsey, we have some things coming up for y'all, man. We're going to have a dedicated show with a new name. We
Mm-hmm.
look to have that out hopefully by the end of this week. But our standard show is going to be broadcast every Wednesday at 8 o'clock at night. And if we have anything else that we want to talk about, it may happen. You never know
You
what the
never
topic
know.
is going to be. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be something that is going to be good for the people.
Absolutely.
Shout
Tune
out
in.
to Marv, man. We're gonna get him back up. We're gonna be up next week. Shout out
Yes,
to
sir.
the Castro, shout out to Brandon, shout out to Walt, E, Boo Neil, all these guys, man. This is Philly edition, City edition. We'll be back at y'all next week, man. And Dorsey, man, we can talk later, bro.
Absolutely, man.
All right, boss. Have a good
All
evening.
right, man. You as well.